I failed my first nursing school quiz, and it's because nursing school is like being thrown in the deep end of the pool, and your instructors just kind of stand around and watch you and grade you to see whether you sink or swim. And the test questions you get are a big part of the reason why it feels this way. Question 1. The nurse is working as part of an interdisciplinary team in a hospital setting. Which action by the nurse best demonstrates the role of an advocate for the client? A. Ensuring that the client's dietary preferences are communicated to the dietary department. B. Coordinating with the physical therapist to schedule rehabilitation sessions. C. Discussing the client's wishes for end-of-life care with the healthcare provider. Or D. Administering the medications as prescribed to the client. The correct answer is C. Discussing the client's wishes for end-of-life care with the healthcare provider. In order to be able to answer this question, we need to know, what does it mean to be an advocate? That's something you're going to be learning in your first semester nursing fundamentals course. But notice the question doesn't just say, what is an advocate? That's because this is a higher level difficulty question where it wants you to apply or analyze the information that you have learned. In nursing school, it's never only about memorizing and regurgitating information. So instead of looking for a definition of advocate in the answer options, we're looking for an example of something that represents what an advocate is or does. And like I said, in order to be able to do that, we do first have to know what an advocate is. These questions are a lot easier to answer when you've been studying with my Silver Bullet study system, because knowing what an advocate is step 1 of that study system. And thinking through a lot of the scenarios, how that could apply, is built into step 3. A is not being an advocate because you're simply passing on a message. And being an advocate means showing public support for a cause or policy. B, coordinating with physical therapists is also not an example of being an advocate. This is simply acting like a secretary, managing the schedule. D is definitely a role of the nurse, like being an advocate, but it is not the role of advocate. Therefore, that is incorrect. Which leaves us with C, discussing the client's wishes for end-of-life care with the healthcare provider. Especially because it mentions an interdisciplinary team in the question, it's important that the nurse act as a sort of champion for the client. And this can involve making sure that their wishes are known to other members of the interdisciplinary team so that they can be respected.